Today, guys, we're going to be talking about the MLF Pro Circuit event that was just on Smith Lake. We're going to start with practice, and basically I had 2 days to break down the lake. I'd been there once before. We went into it, the water was like 52 degrees the first night, or morning I guess, when we got there, and it was a warming trend coming through the tournament. So I knew they were going to be pre-spawn, getting ready to move up. I just had to figure out how far along they really were. So on the first day, I went out there, was covering some water, fishing some areas where the last time I was at, they were spawning. So I was trying to figure out how they went from the spawning areas where they stayed at, basically. And it was tough. The first day, I only had 4 keepers, and I actually caught a bunch of them on a shaky head. This is the Z by Z-Man. You can see their finesse worm they got here. Awesome because it would sink to the bottom, stand straight up in front of their face, and you could really work it. And I didn't catch any real big ones that day, but I had, I think, 3 keepers on that, and then I caught one on the diesel minnow. Actually, no, this was on the minnow. It's the 3-inch one, and that was just over some fish that I could see on the new active target from Lawrence. So that was kind of the combination I had going the first day. Nothing special, but I was happy with how it kind of got started. It was a 15-inch minimum there, so it wasn't easy to catch keepers. You catch a lot of shorts. I caught so many on that shaky head, and then the Ned rig with the Hayabusa brush easy on it. This is just a TRD. It's in the deal. It's called, favorite color they make. It's a 1/10 ounce head, and when it would get flat out, I would make a long cast with that and just let it sink and pick up and hop it, and it came through the rocks really well. It has its brush guards on it, so just good combination for fishing around that. But back to practice, I went into day 2, and I was trying to figure out where I could go to get some bigger bites, and that was when I started keying in on that offshore herring bite. You'd kind of get out over some real deep water on the main channel where they would school up, and you could actually see on your Lawrence active target the fish streaking up through it, eating the bait. Those spots they were aggressive when they were eating the bait, but they were really hard to get them to bite anything. And that's where I was throwing that diesel minnow. So I'll get more into that in the tournament. I fished that very exclusively almost, trying to catch my spotted bass that way. But the second day of practice, I ended up, the water temp kept rising. We got up to about 57, 58, I believe, that final day. And the fishing, it didn't seem to really move the spots up anymore. I got into one section where I was throwing this TRD, brush easy, and I caught a lot of little ones, like just little one, and it just, they were 10, 12 inches. I don't know if they were just little bucks or if they were just little fish that were in that area, but I never caught a bigger one, so I never even went back to it in the tournament because of it. But it just didn't seem to be happening, and I struggled the rest of that day. I actually picked a jerkbait up for a little bit when it got real windy, and started fishing some Wimbledon points and docks, and I caught 2 back-to-back on that. I thought it was going to be a pretty big deal once I figured that out, but once the tournament started, we had a little bit of wind the first day. The second day, there was no wind, and that kind of hurt us for the jerkbait fight, so I didn't even throw it really the second day. But like I said, I was throwing it at minnows. I was throwing that on my favorite rod. This is the Hex. This is the 721, the medium heavy. It's got the Rush spinning reel, Seaguar flash screen, Braid I was throwing it on usually an 8. Sometimes I throw it on a 10-pound leader. That's the same thing. That's Seaguar, Tatsu. That's my favorite leader line that I've used. They make that gold too, which is very good. I haven't used that as much, so I haven't completely switched over yet, but I was throwing that for my swim bait, and actually I threw it on my shaky head rod too, and then the little guy, I was throwing that on his favorite rods, which is Jackhammer 741. It's a good drop shot rod. I also really like for throwing Ned rigs a little bit lighter, so you can really bomb those light lures out there. That's only a 10 ounce for the head, so you need a light lure to be able to really fire that out there. But that was basically the recap of my practice. Going into the event, I knew I had like 2 areas I wanted to check, and then after that it was just going to be kind of going fishing, seeing what happened, but we'll recap it a little bit further. Day 1 is going to be up next. I got some fish catches in that one, and day 2 will be up after that. So, thanks for watching, and please